It's Tiny Home Tuesday, and today I want to talk about the reasons why someone might choose this lifestyle. I would also like to tell you about some of the different types of tiny living options and why I ended up living in a goat shed. Welcome to my goat shed life, where I took an abandoned old goat shed and turned it into a cozy tiny home, because you can do anything you set your mind to do, and you can absolutely live your passion. I came up with 5 reasons why I believe people might choose a tiny lifestyle. The first one is that you have a smaller footprint. And I don't mean that your feet grow smaller. What I mean is that you're taking up less actual space, which is lower impact on the environment. And some people are very conscious of that. Another would be anti-consumerism or minimalism, because if you are in a tiny space, you cannot amass huge amounts of belongings. And if you feel like you don't want to amass huge amounts of belongings, then having a smaller space is certainly motivational for that. A smaller space is easier to heat and or cool, therefore it's more economical perhaps, so your bills would be lower, especially your energy bills, if you live in a tiny space. Some people would like to live a nomadic lifestyle, and tiny living certainly lends itself to that. Also, in my case, it was simply availability. I got here. There was a goat shed, or it used to be a goat shed. It was abandoned, it was dirty, but it was on a slab, and it was 12 foot by 24 foot. And it seemed to be structurally sound, as it's a tin shed. So it was availability that led me to actually end up living in a goat shed. If you can think of any other reason why someone might choose a tiny home lifestyle, please leave me a comment below. I sure would appreciate it. The next thing I wanted to talk about are the different types of tiny homes and tiny spaces. Basically, the way I see it, it can be divided into 2 different types. You have those that are mobile on wheels and those that are stationary. The mobile ones, in my opinion, can include RVs, because those are tiny spaces as well. So our RV friends are also our tiny home brothers and sisters. Of course, you can purchase a ready-made tiny home that is already on wheels, and I have a little tour of that I'm going to show you. I stopped by and looked at one the other day, and I'd like to share that with you. I stopped by Texas Investments the other day in Huntsville, Texas, and they were gracious enough to allow me to tour this NuVision tiny home. This is the living room, looking out the window. All of the appliances in the kitchen are full-size appliances. This space is 400 square foot. You see there are lots of cabinets, and then take a right, takes you into the bathroom. Shower. There's also no loft. This particular model lists for $37,475, and it is park ready with a washer dryer hookup. Whether it be something that's on wheels or something that's stationary, the next choice really is this something I'm going to do myself, something I'm going to build myself, something I'm going to pay someone to build for me, something I'm going to have customized for me, or something that I'm going to purchase that's ready-made. Those are really the choices there. Also, a lot of things that you see that are upcycled from being something else into being a tiny home. I've seen things such as silos upcycled into tiny homes, of course old school buses that get upcycled into tiny homes, train cabooses. What a great tiny home. Of course, there are the shipping containers that people are also turning into tiny homes. With the right innovation, the right ideas, the right imagination, it really just depends on what it is you want to do and how you want to go about it. But the choices are almost limitless. One of the most innovative things that I've seen is people who take school buses and turn those into tiny homes. I love that. And I'm constantly looking. When I see an old school bus sitting on the side of the road, man, I'm thinking, tiny home, there it is. It takes a lot of ingenuity, and it absolutely take some money to be able to do that as well. When I arrived here, I arrived in an RV, a 26-foot RV, which I'll show you, and I was staying in it with my mother. There's a bed in the back where my mom slept, and I slept in the cab over cubby. I only fell out once. My friend said, oh, there's a shed on the property that you can absolutely use to store things in. And I took one look at that shed and I said, oh no, this thing is too big to put rakes in. I'll be putting my bed in here. Just give me a minute. The project has taken me several years and it's still not complete, but I'm extremely happy here. I love my goat shed.